You want to know the truth. Most men have no idea how powerful their words really are. They think women fall for looks, money, or confidence. But that's not it. What truly makes a woman fall is the way a man makes her feel about herself when he speaks. One sentence from you can either make her feel ordinary or unforgettable, and that difference changes everything. Because the right compliment doesn't just touch her ears, it touches her soul. You see, women hear 100 compliments in their lifetime, but they only feel a few. The words that stay with her aren't the ones that praise her beauty. They're the ones that recognize her essence. When you learn how to speak to that part of her, the part that hides behind her smile, the part that no one else notices, you become impossible to forget. You stop being just another man, and you become the man who sees her. In this video, I'm going to reveal 8 compliments that go beyond attraction. Compliments that don't just make her like you, they make her feel safe, seen, and desired on a level she's never experienced before. These aren't cheesy lines or manipulative tricks. These are the words that awaken something real in her, the kind of connection that lingers long after you've walked away. So don't scroll, don't skip, because what you're about to hear might completely change the way you speak to women, the way they respond to you, and the way you understand love itself. If you're ready to stand apart from every man she's ever met, keep watching. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to say to make her heart remember you forever. You see, the biggest mistake men make when trying to connect with women is believing that compliments are about approval. They think, if I tell her she's beautiful, she'll like me. But that's not attraction. That's validation seeking, and women feel the difference instantly. A compliment that seeks approval feels empty, while a compliment that sees her essence feels magnetic. The reason most compliments fail is simple. They come from ego, not awareness. They come from a place of wanting something. Attention, affection, validation, instead of offering something, presence, understanding, respect. When a woman hears, "You look beautiful," it registers, yes, but only on the surface. She's heard it before, thousands of times. It doesn't separate you from the noise. But when you say, "I love the way your mind works," or "You make me feel calm," you're not flattering her. You're off connecting to her. You're telling her, "I see something in you that others overlook." And that right there, that's where her emotional walls begin to drop. Because women don't fall for looks or charm, they fall for recognition, for being seen not as an object of desire, but as a universe of thoughts, emotions, and contradictions. When you can compliment her in a way that acknowledges her mind, her energy, her quiet strength, you become the one person who stands out in a world obsessed with superficial validation. You become rare, and rarity is irresistible. Every woman has an inner world, complex, layered, often unseen. Most people never take the time to explore it. But when you do, when you notice how she pauses before answering a deep question, or how her tone softens when she's speaking about something meaningful, and you name it, she feels a shift. That's not a compliment anymore. That's emotional attunement. That's a mirror being held up to her soul, showing her that someone finally sees what she's been hiding beneath the surface. And that's powerful. Because deep down, everyone, man or woman, wants to be understood, not in a broad, generic way, but in the way that makes them feel chosen. When you tell a woman, "I notice the way your energy changes when you talk about what you love," she feels safe. She feels respected. She feels valued beyond her appearance. It's a compliment that speaks to her humanity. This is why emotional intelligence matters more than charm. A man who is emotionally intelligent listens with curiosity, not strategy. He doesn't use compliments as tools of persuasion. He uses them as bridges. He doesn't rush to impress her. He studies her energy. He asks himself, what part of her does the world ignore? And then he names it. That's the compliment that changes everything. You see, the psychology behind attraction is not mystery. It's awareness. People fall in love where they feel most understood. So when you learn to look beyond the obvious, when you train yourself to notice the way she feels, not just how she looks, you enter her emotional dimension. That's where real attachment begins. Not through words that sound good, but through words that feel true. Women can sense authenticity the way you can sense insincerity. They know when a compliment is rehearsed and when it's real. And the only way to make it real is to mean it. To observe, to listen, to feel. Because the right compliment isn't a performance. It's a reflection. It reflects your awareness, your groundedness, your confidence to appreciate without expectation. That's what makes it powerful. So when you compliment her, don't speak to her beauty. Speak to her being. Don't praise what everyone else sees. Acknowledge what only you've noticed. Tell her, there's something about your energy that feels peaceful. Or, the way you think challenges me. These are not just words, they are emotional experiences. You are giving her a mirror to see her own worth, and that is something she will never forget. At the end of the day, attraction built on flattery fades, but attraction built on airs understanding lasts. Because when a woman feels deeply seen, she begins to open herself in ways she never has before. She begins to trust. She begins to attach meaning to your presence. And that's when she starts falling. Not for your looks, not for your words, but for the way you make her feel seen. So stop complimenting from habit. Start complimenting from awareness. Speak to her essence, not her ego. Because when your words touch her soul, her heart will have no choice but to remember you. And remember this, any man can say she's beautiful, but only a man with depth can make her believe she is. You know what's fascinating? The compliments that truly make a woman fall for you are never about what you see. They're about what you feel. They're not about her face, her body, or her style. They're about this energy she carries, the way she moves through life, the invisible presence that makes you stop and notice. Most men never get this. They keep complimenting what's obvious, what everyone else notices. And that's why their words get lost in the noise. Real connection doesn't begin when you admire how she looks. It begins when you recognize how she makes you feel. When you tell a woman, "You make me feel calm," you're saying something most men never express. Emotional safety. You're showing her that her presence isn't just attractive, it's grounding. It's healing. You're letting her know she doesn't have to perform or impress. That just being herself brings you peace. That one sentence is powerful because it shifts the dynamic. You're not putting her on a pedestal for her looks. You're appreciating the emotional impact she has on you. And that makes her feel deeply connected to you, because women are emotional beings. They understand feelings before they understand logic. The truth is, women crave a sense of emotional recognition. They want to feel that their existence changes something in you. That's why compliments like, "You bring out the best in me," or "You make me want to be better," hit differently. They make her feel that she's not just part of your life. She's influencing your growth, your mindset, your purpose. That's an emotional bond. That's not surface level attraction anymore, it's meaning. And meaning is rare. Most relationships today are built on impulse, not awareness. Two people meet, they connect physically, but emotionally they remain strangers. Why? Because no one is willing to see beneath the surface. Compliments like, "You're stunning," or "You're sexy," are fine. But they don't build depth. Depth is created when you recognize her soul. When you can say, "You have an energy that feels different," or "There's something peaceful about the way you handle chaos." Those words make her pause. They make her reflect. Because no one has spoken to that part of her before. And that's the secret. A woman doesn't fall for the man who tells her what she already knows. She falls for the man who helps her see herself in a new light. The man who says something that reveals a layer she didn't even realize others could perceive. When she hears, "I admire the way you stay calm when everyone else loses control," she feels respected for her strength. When you say, "You bring a warmth into the room that people don't even notice," she feels seen for her essence. That's emotional intimacy. It's invisible, but unforgettable. Here's the psychological truth. The female mind associates emotional safety with attraction. When a woman feels safe around you, when she feels her emotions are acknowledged, she begins to attach. Compliments that go beyond the surface signal that you are emotionally intelligent. And emotional intelligence is the new definition of strength, because it shows her you're not just looking, you're listening. You're not just hearing words, you're feeling energy, and that is rare. Most men operate in a space of performance. They use words to get attention, but a man with emotional depth uses words to connect. He doesn't rush to praise what everyone else sees. He quietly observes what no one else acknowledges. He listens not to reply, but to understand, and that understanding reflects in his compliments. When you can describe the feeling she brings into your life, whether it's calm, inspiration, or joy, she feels emotionally valued, and emotional value is the highest form of attraction. Because here's the truth. Women are drawn to the man who reflects their light back to them, not the one who consumes it, not the one who competes with it, but the one who recognizes it. When you learn to compliment her energy, her integrity, her growth, you become more than a man she likes. You become the man she trusts, and trust is what deepens affection into attachment. So stop telling her what's obvious. Everyone sees her face, but not everyone sees her heart. Everyone hears her laugh, but not everyone understands what pain it hides. Your compliment has power when it reaches the part of her no one else touches. Because at the end of the day, a woman doesn't remember the words you said. She remembers how your words made her feel. So let your compliments be more than words. Let them be recognition. Let them be reflection. Let them be a mirror to her strength, her softness, her impact. Because when you can make her feel what she truly is, powerful, grounded, and unforgettable, she will never look at you the same way again. And that's the truth. The right compliment doesn't just make her smile, it makes her feel seen. And once she feels that, her heart is already halfway yours. Respect is the silent foundation of every genuine connection. You can make a woman laugh. You can impress her with confidence. You can even attract her with charm. But if she doesn't feel respected, she will never feel safe. And if she doesn't feel safe, she will never open her heart to you. Most men underestimate this truth. They think attraction is built on compliments and chemistry, but real, lasting attraction is built on emotional depth. And that begins with respect. When you tell a woman, "I respect how you carry yourself," you're saying something that touches the deepest part of her identity. You're acknowledging her discipline, her values, her boundaries, the invisible qualities that define her self-worth. This is not a shallow compliment. It's a declaration that you see her essence. Because in a world where women are often reduced to appearances, being respected for who she is becomes one of the most powerful emotional experiences she can feel. Respect isn't about agreeing with everything she says or pretending to admire her just to gain approval. It's about honoring her individuality. It's about noticing the strength in her silence, the grace in her patience, the way she stands firm on her principles even when it's inconvenient. That kind of acknowledgement builds emotional gravity. It pulls her closer, not because you're trying to control her, but because you make her feel safe being herself. You see, flattery fades, but respect lingers. A woman remembers how you made her feel when you treated her with dignity. She remembers how you listened when she spoke about her dreams, how you didn't interrupt, how you valued her opinion even when it challenged yours. That's when she begins to see you as a man of substance. And substance is magnetic. Every woman craves to be seen beyond her beauty. Compliments that focus only on her looks might make her smile for a moment, but respect makes her trust you. And trust is the bridge between attraction and connection. When you tell her, you don't try to impress anyone, and that's what makes you unforgettable. You're validating her authenticity. You're telling her that she's enough, that her natural self is powerful, and that she doesn't need to perform to earn your attention. That's what breaks through her emotional armor, because deep down, every woman is tired of pretending, and when she feels she can be herself around you, something changes. Her tone softens, her walls lower, her heart begins to open, because she senses she's finally in the presence of a man who doesn't just want her, but understands her, a man who recognizes her strength, her softness, her contradictions, and respects them all. That is where emotional depth is born. True attraction isn't about dominance or power. It's about equilibrium. It's when two people meet at the intersection of respect and vulnerability. When a woman feels that your admiration isn't rooted in control, but in genuine appreciation, she begins to attach emotionally. Respect makes her feel seen, but emotional depth makes her feel safe, and safety is what transforms interest into devotion. Psychologically, this is powerful because respect activates emotional security in the female mind. It tells her she can let go, that she doesn't need to defend or hide. Once that security is established, her heart begins to trust your presence. You're no longer just a man she likes. You become the man who anchors her emotionally. But here's where most men fail. They want love without understanding, desire without depth, commitment without consistency. You can't earn a woman's heart if you can't respect her boundaries, her emotions, and her individuality. Respect isn't something you say once. It's something you show in every interaction. It's in how you speak to her when you're angry, how you treat her when you disagree, how you value her silence as much as her words. Because when a woman realizes that your respect for her doesn't depend on convenience, she starts to see you differently. You become the man she can rely on, the one she can emotionally invest in without fear. That's when attraction deepens into connection, and connection evolves into love. So stop thinking respect is passive. It's powerful. It's the quiet confidence that tells her she's safe to be herself. It's the maturity that separates boys who chase attention from men who build emotional intimacy. Respect is not about lowering yourself. It's about elevating her presence in your world. At the end of the day, you don't win a woman's heart by controlling her, impressing her, or chasing her. You win it by respecting her. Because when she feels your respect, she begins to trust your intentions. And when she trusts you, she'll open a part of herself no one else has ever seen. So remember this, attraction begins with curiosity, but love begins with respect. And the man who masters respect masters her heart,